Large Image became a member. Large Image celebrates 49 months of membership. Briefs emoji, 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 banana emoji, briefs emoji, briefs emoji, briefs emoji, briefs emoji, briefs emoji.
Hello. What's going on? There we go. How are you in here twice?
I don't know.
Oh,
Is that it? Yeah, that's...
I did get you though. Hey, what's up, everybody? Doing other things as always. Looks like, well, for the intro and everything, we had a strong internet signal, so hopefully it keeps up. Where's my mouse? I have 3 monitors here, so it's one thing I have to think of. What's up, Dimitri? What's up, Dirty Brat? Michael Howe? Pudgy? Are you at home, Pudgy? Let us know. I hope you are. Rocky, how you doing? Pudgy's on morphine. Jeez. Dylan up here in the beginning. I do have your photo up here, Dylan, to show here in a minute. Dan and Whiskey 6. Whiskey 6, I feel like it's been a while. And Large with his 49 months of membership. And Dimitri said 49 months, that's almost a year. And I said to Dave, is that a metric year? So, what's up, Cycling Brian? Oh, you guys are getting tornado threats and thunderstorms. Our next couple days are supposed to be, I think, pretty iffy weather. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it's not too bad because I would like to ride. I rode today only like 12 or 13 miles. I didn't ride yesterday. Well, yesterday it rained all day, right?
Yeah, it was pretty crappy.
Yeah, yesterday sucked. But yesterday I had a decent amount of work to do, and today I did my taxes with my accountant. Well, I did my part of it yesterday, which is a big part of my day, and today I met with the accountant. So it's also said in the description, going to be drinking a beer to celebrate finishing my taxes. So yeah, it's interesting. Like, this is the second year I've used an accountant. He's also a cyclist. I met him through Dirty River. He's Dirty River's accountant as well. But it's so worth paying for it because he's definitely saved me more money than he's cost me. And then just also the peace of mind of actually doing things right. I've been winging it since I started this business, and I, was trying to do things as right as I could, but now seeing how the number of things are supposed to be done is, I definitely was not. So, what's up, Blaine? And Thrifty Frame Builder. Thrifty Frame Builder, I haven't seen your latest video yet, but I have it on my list of things to watch. I think you're planning, well, from the thumbnail and title, planning for a gravel bike build. So, CB, what's up? Speaking of videos, right before I streamed, Clunkay, I just watched your video about your, now my mind just went blank. It's a rally, right? Yeah. I just watched it. Really cool. I really like your style with like the graphics and everything and like the chill music, your music. It was cool. I really liked the video. So, oh, I think I will drop it in the chat for anyone who's interested. Clunky's latest video is here. Kind of a bike check, also kind of like a history, kind of the way like when I used to do my videos about the bikes I own, how it kind of goes through the whole history of them. It was, yeah, pretty cool. I liked it a lot. Nicola, what's up? Bicycletta, Dimitri again. Somebody order rain. Yeah, is it getting to you guys already? Today it was sunny here, but we had a cold front come through. What, yesterday? Yesterday the temperature dropped all day long, and today it only got up to 44. So
Pudgy Pedal Pusher became a member. Pudgy Pedal Pusher celebrates 49 months of membership. Mum likes when I'm a mighty morphine sour stranger.
Nice. 49 months too. So I think you're both since the beginning, basically. Yeah. What's up, Dr. Bob? Spring has sprung. Greeting from San Diego. Isn't it always spring in San Diego? It's always summer, right? So, what's up, Raymond? Heading out your way, Raymond, in a few weeks towards the Gunks. So. Uh, 10 weeks of rain straight? Is that a joke? Man, I hate the rain. It's a balancing bike life. I mean, there's times when I'm gardening in the summer when I want it to rain and stuff like that, but. Ah, gotcha, Dimitri. That's a Twitch joke. Yeah. I did see you say hi yesterday, but I did jump in for a second to the chat, but I watched Terry B's OCA stream, which I absolutely love watching someone ride the OCA. One, Terry is how I made it a thing that I really wanted to do, but now that I've done it twice, and last time in the same direction Terry was doing, and I love to see just the sights and all that stuff. It's just one of my favorite rides that I've ever done. So, did it with Dylan actually. So, what's up, Places Lost? Stream Elements is going a little hot and heavy on the messages. Hey, what's up, Donald? I know I have an email from you that I haven't responded to. Actually, you're in a long list of all my inbox right now is just fully YouTube stuff that I haven't responded to because I've just been staying up on the work stuff. I feel like from doing the meetup and doing my taxes, I just haven't kept up on the social and YouTube stuff. But I do have, I'm using the, why can't I all of a sudden think of the thing you set your drink on? Coaster that you did send me. So I did get the package. And yeah, and I appreciate it. So I will still get back to you, even though I'm addressing you now. But oh yeah, it was a rally, Clunky. That's right. Thought so. Yeah, it was a cool story, and I liked the video. I liked the style. Yeah. Deep dive on what's up, Jay Dandy? Deep dive on the tax returns. It's really interesting. Doing my taxes because, you know, obviously being self-employed, you have to write so much, you have to write a bunch of stuff off or you just pay a huge self-employment tax. But one of the things with doing YouTube, and YouTube now, Google does it, but YouTube, you know, 1099ing me, and I have to pay taxes obviously on YouTube, is like, what can I write off? And I, you know, in general, and I'm sure Dylan knows this, and I know there's a couple other freelancers in here, but you know, you're just supposed to like entertainment stuff and like eating, and when you're talking about business, like you're just supposed to add that stuff up and write it off. But I don't know where like the line on that stuff is because my life is always just blurred with my business, whether it's the photography and videography or especially now with the YouTube. So I save all my receipts when that stuff goes on, and like I said, you're just supposed to add them up. But when I'm talking to my accountant, I'm like, what's a reasonable number here to put up there? You know, I've got the stuff to back it up, but I'm like, I just don't want anything to red flag either, because since I was doing my taxes in the past, and what, you get 7 or 8 years on record, I think, right? They could go back and audit you. I think it's 7 or 8 years.
I don't know about federal.
Yeah, I think federal 7 or 8 years. I just don't want to do anything that might get flagged, because he was even saying it's possible that YouTube might be able to be considered royalties, and then they wouldn't be subject to self-employment tax. He was like, I need to look into that deeper. I'm like, if it seems like something that might red flag me, let's just self-employment tax it, you know, because I definitely don't want that. So, the Rough Rider. When am we going to do more shirts? You're a 3x guy. Hopefully soon. I want to sell a few more of the industrial gravel shirts in other sizes before I do another run, and I need to put up. I had a bunch of Fitzwater photography shirts made for the meetup and my little open house, so I want to put those online. I just haven't done it yet, and sell some stuff to make some money to put some more stuff up there. I definitely do a limited amount of the 3x and 2x, but I'll do even more this time. I'm starting to learn what you guys buy when I do new designs. The other thing is Micah's working on a new industrial gravel design, so I think the next round will be slightly different. So it should be cool. I always like it, whatever he comes up with. So, oh, you're still in the hospital, Pudgy. In San Diego, if it's not in the 60s, it's in the 70s. Yeah, that's yeah, spring is always sprung then. Yeah, the OCA is just like, it's just like nothing else. Bushcraft tax returns. How many tons of wood is too many to write off? 17 bushels, Pudgy says. That's the other thing, you know, it's like, so I live in the studio and I have 2 tenants, so then we're figuring out a percentage, like what percentage of that stuff that I do maintenance on the building, because I need to write off, because I have to have the rental income from my 2 tenants, but I want to but compared to my mortgage, it's a loss, so I just want to make sure I'm not really paying, I don't want to end up paying taxes on my rental income, you know, so it's trying to find where is that balance. I mean, doing it legally, but making sure you write off enough. But it's like, was this for the tenants? Like what we put in the hot water tank on the other side this year, which isn't the hot water I use for my shower. So I'm like, well, that percentage should be way higher because I barely touch that water, you know. But it's a weird thing.
Yeah, that's getting a little deep in the weeds. So.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, but if it goes up there, write it off.
Yeah. That's what it's great to have an accountant who knows what it should be, because I don't.
Somebody to point the finger at.
Yeah. No, that's not how it works. Yeah. Once you sign your name on there, I think you're always responsible no matter who does your taxes, right? What's up, Jason? We're welcome for the cold front with love from Canada. Yeah, I saw that on Instagram, Bike Breath up there, and Bike Breath in Ottawa, right? Yeah, that they still had a bunch of snow the last few weeks. So when we've had these little dips like today in temperature, I'm like, hey, could be worse. So, what's up, Tommy? You said beautiful day for a bike ride, and now we have snowfall warning for tonight. I don't know how cold it's going to get tonight. Last night was down to what? It was below freezing, I think. So, yeah, this morning I was going to ride to my meeting to do the taxes, but I looked at that temperature and I'm like, it's a 7-minute drive. I'm like, I'm not getting all the winter gear on for this. So, JD, yeah. Bouncing bike life. We definitely did that. So yeah, lots of beers were written off because there are lots of beer meetings with, you know, it's one of the jokes when me and Otis from Dirty River are sitting at like a bar or a brewery on a bike ride together. We look at each other and I'm like, bikes? And he's like, beers? And we're like, so it's like, I think we talked about bikes. This one's on you, Otis. So what's up, Dennis? When is the 1x shirt coming out? Good. What's up, William LeBron? Thrifty Frame Builder, you said your 1099 showed a whopping $136 in the royalties box. Yeah, Pudgy's been getting hit with it lately, that's for sure. Redco, what to wear on a 50-degree day? Definitely depends on the time of year, because right now 50 still feels warmer than it would in the fall. But yeah, that's a really tough temperature. Even today, it was. I think when I rode, it was 44, and I went out with like my wool jersey and windbreaker on, and it was one of those days where if I was climbing a little bit, I was unzipping them, but then when I was descending, I was chilly. So it's just yeah. But I didn't wear. I was wearing jeans, but I didn't wear any tights or anything like that, and I wore some darn tough wool socks with my regular tennis shoes. So some hiking style socks, and my feet were fine on. I was out for probably a little over an hour, but yeah. Those mid temperatures I think are tougher than anything else. 40s and 50s sometimes could be tougher to dress for than once it gets over 60 or once it gets under 30, you kind of know what you need to have. But shout out to glamping at the Valley Overlook Campground in my neck of the woods. Oh yeah, Kalberg, I haven't actually seen too much. I know about that and where it is, but I actually haven't seen too much about it or too many of the photos. So, because that's the real new one. Yeah, the only campground in the valley, right? Really. Well, I guess there's the place Dylan stayed on Heritage Farms, which is across the other side of the valley. Because Valley Overlook, have you seen that, Dave? It's the old camp that was by Soleil's.
Yeah.
But I haven't looked into it much, like what they got over there.
It's just a bunch of cabins.
Oh, a bunch of cabins.
I think they built. I actually don't know what was up there before, but you could see it through the winter with all the green down. I guess it was open last year.
Yeah, I think it was open last year. Yeah. Me and Aaron were surprised by how much they ripped off the park's branding, and that the park.
Oh, it looks like. Yeah.
Because that's not. You're not supposed to do that.
No. But it's closer to like the what's the Yogi Bear park?
Jellystone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That was like a trivia question.
It's
I was
very
like,
similar.
come on down. Yeah. Yeah, you have to let us know how you liked it. I think it's cool that exists now. I mean, it's one of those things. There's a couple spots around here that I've never used because if I'm there, I'm just gonna go sleep in my bed. So like Heritage Farms or the one in the Metro Parks at Big Bend. What do they call that? Is it just called Big Bend? Yeah. But I would have you can't have fires there or anything, so I have no reason to go there because it's
You
like
have fire there.
you can.
I think so.
No, it's just like on a hillside.
Yeah,
No.
but it's up top.
You could not have a fire. You work for the parks. You should know this. You can't have a
I don't
fire
pay
there.
attention to that kind of stuff.
Yeah. You're not enforcement. Yeah. What's up, Dennis? You've been in meetings in the film community, and everything in those meetings is a write-off. Hey, what's up, Nate the Great? Ate a few of the Mambas you gave me on right before my ride today because I hadn't eaten anything yet. I didn't know about Mamba ropes, or what do they call them? Mamba strings. Those are delicious. They combine two Mamba flavors into one. I don't know. You guys get so many styles of Mambas up there in Toledo that I've never seen before. SoCal, I sure am. Starting to think about them a little more, but haven't got any real plans done yet. Randy said, does Dave have a microphone? I could barely hear him. He was just leaning back real far.
Sorry.
Usually that one picks stuff up so hot that I'm surprised it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because that mic's way louder. This one has to be right by my face. That one, when I have guests on, we have it just sitting out here and it works. So. I saw you post about these square taper Paul cranks, but I haven't looked into them yet. You just don't get the square taper? I guess the only thing about, I just use square taper really when it's just on a bike that is kind of vintagey, I guess. But one nice thing about square taper is they look so clean because you don't have the outboard bearings or anything like that.
That's what I like about them.
Yeah. But they're not as true. Like you could have more, I don't know, they're heavier, but I don't care about that. Like Howltech is way lighter than a square taper crank, but
Sure.
I don't care about that really.
Way uglier.
Yeah, way uglier. they're serviceable. That's another. Not that there aren't other serviceable bottom brackets, but you know, like all the Shimano ones and that, all that stuff are throwaway, which is kind of annoying. So I guess that's one of the benefits. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'd be curious what other people think the if you use square tape or if you don't. Like I said, I've never. It's just really dependent on what I'm building, and if it's, I don't know. I guess I'd put square tape on the Marin and use them with the Velo Orange cranks because I wanted to use those Velo Orange cranks for the most part. But yeah. What's up, Aviation? Edmund is here. He's laying in about the cutest position you can imagine too. He's got his head over my. I don't know if it'll show up without the lights on tonight, but let's see, which way is this actual head? Oh yeah, this way. Yep. Yeah, he's just got his head hanging over the edge here, and his little paws there. So. Second, Brian, I have square tape on a few bikes. Don't mind it, but you think there's better options. What's up, Michael? What's up, Buster? Jay Dandy, square tapers worked for 100 years, so good enough for you. Yeah. Square tapers should retire. Cranks are. Square tapers should retire. Cranks are sexy? Is that what you're saying? That joke is going over my head, or it's a typo, or you're just high on morphine. Our Journey project, yeah, the Temp Swings in Ohio. That's kind of what the title of this video. I couldn't think of a good title, but that's just, it's, the weather's just crazy. But that's always how it's going to be in spring. So I guess winter, I guess the only time we don't have Temp Swings is in summer. The range stays a little, but fall, winter, or spring here, it just always could be crazy. You know. I'll bring those up in a minute. Good jumping the gun. Trying to pay attention here. Bicycletta says, bro, square taper fox. I'm too far behind. Again, I'm losing. Large Marge always has great lines, and I can't remember what he's talking about.
Fire.
Oh, Dave said we could have the fire. Oh, he has the fire emoji right below it. Yeah, so I guess, is that what we're going to go do this weekend? Large, go have a fire down at Big Bend, and then if anyone busts us, we'll be like, Dave Goddess works for the park. He says,
don't do that. I get questions all the time on the trail. I'm not the cops. Nobody sees you do it. You're not doing anything wrong.
So, Kyle, ready to do your first 80-mile ride this year out to Mount Hood. Nice. I wonder what my longest ride of the year is. Is it just the Otis Roubaix? Like 40-something? No, I think me and Large might have done a ride a little longer than that, but less climbing. But, yeah, nothing super long for me yet this year. Oh, Valley Overlook has a bunch of large canvas tents with comfy beds and deck. Very nice. I love that kind of glamping. Me and Large and Molnair, Aaron. And I'm trying to remember if we ever stayed in a place like that with Dylan too. Yeah, just those kind of, whether they're cabins or like big canvas tents on like a nice wood deck, even teepees and stuff like that. Just nice to have those, especially in spring and fall, when, you know, if it's going to rain, it could really ruin your day. But what's the problem with square taper? Eddie Merckx didn't break them. Isn't that what Pathless Pedal always talks about, like that certain gear range that Eddie Merckx used to break the hour record? It's like you don't need anything higher than that. Eddie Merckx broke the hour record with it. What's up, Matt Ford? I should pull up. I know there is a photo in the Discord of it that Dylan dropped. I was in a different chat, but yeah, I'll need to check those out though, because I don't really have a comment on it, because I'm not going to sit here and read the information. But so Paul brings out a square taper crank set and then charges 10 times more than all the ones you could get for $20 online, right? Is that what does everyone say now? TLDR? TDLR? TLDR? TLDR. I think I'm right. You never hear this?
TDIL?
TDIL?
What are you trying to say?
Like the abbreviation, the summary.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
You're getting old. Thanks, SoCal. Matt Ford, have we talked about the best April Fool's posts yet? I was aware this year that it was April Fool's, so I was saying this I've been using Blue Sky, like the Twitter clone, and I was like, I don't know. In the age of social media, I think April Fool's is just annoying. It's like, here's a stupid bike part, April Fool's. Here's a stupid camera, April Fool's. But yeah, I don't know. Some it's like it's April Fool's, so they're just funny. I think that's better now than trying to actually fool people. Just, funny for funny's sake. But I did see Bike Pubes posted something with that. Did they link that with Velo Orange? Yeah, Scott Copeland just said that, I think. But yeah, I hope so, Pudgy. It's still early enough in the season that hopefully you have a recovery, but people have been saying TLDR for years upon years. It's like early internet trolling. But isn't it having like a rebirth? Like I had like a friend stop by for the open house the night before the meetup and like said it out loud. I don't feel like I used to hear people say it in like normal conversation. And now I'm hearing it all the time, like on the podcasts I listen to. So, it's too long, didn't read. But yeah, now people are using it as like, people are saying TLDR just to mean the summary. This is the TLDR. Like, too long, didn't read. But yeah.
Remember Brad at the Russian Brad?
Yeah.
And he would, instead of curse, he would just say the first letter of it.
Yeah, that started because we weren't allowed to curse, remember?
Yeah, but it was like revolutionary.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, it was funny because then he started using it. That's not even a swear word. I still did it. Because it started when Paulo would get mad if we cussed about it and everything. So then we just started using like those words, like F, like people use it all the time now, EFF. But we were doing that.
I thought it was just him.
No, it came from that. So we started, and that's why we started abbreviating everything. Like I got to go drop a D instead of deuce, and just like became everything. So
yeah, I don't get the text speech in real life. IRL.
Yeah, IRL. Yeah. Aviation Life said nobody is in the mood for April Fools this year. I saw a couple memes like that too. It's like, yeah, every day has been a fucking joke, so that's for sure. Or the jokes, yeah, it's not funny, but even the nice Shimano, Sagino, Nito, Pista Square stuff is okay, but priced reasonably. Yeah. Exactly, Tommy. TLDR has gone way beyond just internet culture and gets used everywhere. It's like lol that way. Yeah. Because I remember when people started saying lol out loud, and you're like, no, you could just laugh. That's what it's supposed to take the place of just laughing. April Fool's Day is really hard when you're on piles of pain meds. Yeah, also, I'm a little bit of like a news junkie in the niches I like, cameras and bike stuff. And so I'm like, oh, today I just can't look at anything because I don't know if it's, I mean, obviously some are just obvious jokes, like whatever, but I did. I was watching a Camera News Roundup, Frono's Photo, and he started doing an ad. Like his opening was an ad for teleconverters, and I was like, man, this dude really sold out because I know he hates teleconverters, but he was showing real ones from a real company, and then at the end he was just like, oh, by the way, he was like, I would never take money from anyone who makes teleconverters, and I was like, that was I think the only one I enjoyed, just because I was like, damn, he really sold out doing something that he doesn't believe in, and then, but he used a real product, not a fake product, so. Dr. Bob, speaking of square taper, picking up a free Bianchi. Nice. 3x7 Sun Tour, candy brakes, square taper cranks. Oh yeah, yeah, there's already a lot of. I don't know how. Have you guys gotten a lot of wind down there too, Donald? Because we've had. Have you been dealing with a lot of down trees and stuff from the windstorms, Dave? Like on the trails over the last few weeks or anything?
Actually, not much. No.
Huh. Yeah, just with the hard winter and some of the winds. Like I said it in the last video I made. Me and Large went out and rode. There's definitely trees down on trails we've ridden for a while and stuff like that. But. Pain meds is supposed to make you feel good, Pudge. Time to hit that button and request a sponge bath. I can't remember if I've said this on the channel. I know I've told this story in real life a bunch, but I had a hernia operation, like the kind you're born with. Not like I didn't do any lifting that made it come on. But after they were like, "How are you feeling?" And I was like, "I feel I'm in a lot of pain." And they were like, well, how much pain on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst pain you could imagine? And so I was like, I don't know, 5? I could imagine a lot of pain. I don't like being in pain. So they gave me like whatever morphine that a 5 gets you. And then like a half hour later, I was like, I need to up my number because that did not do the trick. Other people must not imagine as much pain as I imagine. So like, I don't know, burning alive, like I don't feel
that I can, right. That I can imagine some pretty gnarly stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, compared to burning alive, this is only a 5. I'm very uncomfortable. But you're not holding a flame to my arm, or you're not cutting off my eyelids and making me stare at the sun. There's a lot of pain. You have what, bamboo shoots under the fingernails? That'd be way worse. Not enough morphine in the world. Anyways, I ended up maxing out the morphine. They're like, we're not allowed to give you any more.
They cut me off.
Yeah, they cut me off.
RacerX84107112 super chatted $10. Been a while since I gave to the church. Next beer's on me.
Thanks. Why did it sound like our guy had to like take a breath in the middle of that sentence? Did you hear that? Next beer's on me. Appreciate it, Racer.
Is your robot voice growing emotions?
Yeah. He got choked up. He was like, $10. Whew. J Kill 40. After riding your 2007 Trek FX Sport for over 15 years, you think you're going to take a look at something new this weekend? Oh yeah, riding a 2007. I'm sure there were some upgrades you would definitely appreciate. I'm not sure what the Trek FX is. FX Sport, is that a road bike or is that more of a?
It's like the crossover.
Oh, hybrid style. Yeah. Oh yeah, something like a gravel bike or an ATV would feel like a big upgrade. Buster, just straight up tornadoes. Ryan said Paul releasing their new cranks on April Fool's really threw me. I think that's what you guys were talking about in the Discord, right? Like, this is not an April Fool's joke. Oh, tornado warning Saturday night here. like for next Saturday. We have a flood warning for a couple days out. Did you see that? Yeah. So Jordan said, "Oh God."
Go ahead. I think that's pretty normal. I mean, the ground's saturated.
Oh yeah, we've already had a bunch of rain, had a bunch of snow all winter. Not any trees down in the beginning of the gap that you've seen? Huh. Papa Surf said, probably not related, but you visited Dirty River Bikes today. Cat-friendly dogs are welcome also. Yeah. Wait, you brought cat-friendly dogs. Cat-friendly dogs.
I think there's a comma missing.
Oh. Yeah. Cat-friendly dogs are welcome. Like that?
Or maybe that.
Or cat-friendly.
Cat-friendly dogs?
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, Wednesday, the cat at Dirty River is definitely used to dogs, if that's where you're going with that. Good old super shit. You guys are confusing me. You're all over the place. Papa Surf, nice Italian restaurant across the street. From who? Where did I miss that?
You just read his other comment.
What was it? Oh, Dirty River. Oh, that's brand new. That's why it threw me. That's only been open for like 2 weeks. So the old oh yeah, what's his name opened a new restaurant too. Testa.
Oh, in the old vegetarian or whatever.
Yeah.
Dante's. Or whatever.
Dante's. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a fancy Italian restaurant. But yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right. That was pretty quick for me to get confused. I was gonna try and defend myself, and then I'm like, nah, there's no need. Ever ride in Dayton? Yeah, there's a number of the number of good rail trails down there. I've ridden around Dayton a little bit, and then I think Bicycletta's still in the chat. He's in Dayton too. So, but yeah, there's Dayton. I've only ridden around there once, but we rode a number of the trails and really enjoyed it. Rode out to Wright-Patterson, and yeah, even in the city, it seemed like the infrastructure was pretty decent. Oh, the Trek is a hybrid. Yeah. Yeah, if you were looking at something new, and you've been riding a hybrid, and you looked into something, gravel bike, but not in the racy like form of that, I think you would really like it.
Wait, what was your recommendation?
If you were riding a hybrid and you looked at like kind of a chill gravel bike, like an All City or a Surly,
general,
yeah, like ATB, whatever, would be feel like a huge upgrade, I think. I hate the pain scale 1 to 10 questions. There's no point of reference. Yeah, and then everyone's pain threshold is completely different. It's such a bad scale. And again, when you say 10 is the worst pain you could imagine, like that just, I don't know. I just imagine really, really bad pain. I really hate getting hurt. I think most people do, but some people are just like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Rouge River, you have a flood, or Rogue River, not Rouge River. Perry Bay is coming up, I'm getting in the mindset. Been watching a lot of pro racing. Flood warning, yeah. A lot of times what you guys get in Detroit, we will get, not always, but a lot of times when I'm talking to like Detroit Peter, they're like a day or a number of hours ahead. So Dan, spent your money on some new Microshift thumb shifters to spruce up your 3x7. Nice. Oh, Dimitri, you guys have a bunch of ice in Ontario. I can't talk. Bro hasn't had power since around Friday. Damn. Donald. When I was in the hospital for my hernia operation, the doctor said I gave you the good stuff. I told him, no, sir, I went to college in the 70s. Yeah, it's funny how, like, I do find like when I've been in the hospital, morphine does work to kill pain, but it's like when I talk about like my sciatic nerve pain and stuff like that, like opioids and painkillers do nothing for it, only anti-inflammatory. So Advil is actually better for me than like Percocet, which Percocet I could take recreationally. I love it. Take a few perks and drink a beer, and I'm feeling all right. But when Rick, who I bought my building from, gave me some Percocets when my sciatic was first bad, and we were doing Ohio to Erie. And the one night around the fire, I took them, and then I was sitting there, and I'm like, now I feel kind of high and in pain. So it was like switch back to just all Advil for it. But hey, what's up, Chuckles? True OG right there. Cool vibe here in Akron. Yeah, it's coming along, and as I showed on Wednesday, like I was really impressed with the bike lanes over on East Market Street. The culture of drivers has a long way to go, but yeah. Racer just threw a recent gravel build up in the Discord. Before I get to that, I should show this because this was one of the things I did want to talk about. Dylan has the new wired SRAM UDH Universal Derailleur Hanger on there. What's the nomenclature of the actual derailleur? And I was saying I totally get how functional they are, but God, are they ugly. They're just so big. But like I was saying, like, not that my 10-speed Shimano mountain bike rear derailleur on my Gunner is much better looking, but I get it. I am definitely function over form for certain kinds of bikes. So, but yeah, when you look at like thin steel tubes and all that, and then that chonker. I do think it's cool that they came out with a wired or cabled version. Wired version. It's good. I don't see your photo up there, bud. Put it in bicycle pics?
I can't find it anywhere.
Yeah. I did like what where's the photo that, damn it, sorry. That Peter from Detroit put up in there. This, did you see this? After the SRAM, he was like,
Yeah.
we used to be a country.
We used to be a proper country.
We used to be a proper country. Oh, I thought that had stopped. I hadn't heard that for a while. Have you heard that yet tonight?
Every week. It's been
Yeah, every
quieter.
week. But tonight I didn't notice it till now. It's like maybe they fixed a leak or something. Oh man, I need to catch up. Dr. Bob, that's how the pain scale works? Huh. 0 to 3 mild, fly buzzing around your head. 3 to 6 moderate, limits activities. 6 to 10 severe, can't hardly do anything, white knuckling. Huh. Still feels like there's a lot of room for, yeah. Like I said, they said to me, worst pain you can imagine at 10. So that's definitely different, but. Yeah, go with as much tire clearance as you on the bike you like, you know what I mean, or the style bike you like can, because you don't need to use the widest tire. But I think Decline made a whole video about that, but I didn't watch it yet. So both your knees were replaced. Now that hurts, I can imagine. Dayton has the most paved trails in the nation? Huh. I haven't done any mountain biking down by Dayton. I've got to move my legs in. I'm sorry. Give me a second. My leg's going to fall asleep. Dave, speaking to the mic. Randy Hale says. Yeah, I would definitely not buy a titanium bike where it looks like it's been hit with a saw, or any bike for that matter. Yeah, Matt Ford, ask a few questions to get like an answer instead of a 1 to 10 scale. Yeah. Good dirt jumper scene in Dayton as well. I only have one set of micro shifts, but I never finished building that bike. So, but all the reviews of their stuff get better and better. So, Dayton Bike Yard. Yeah. Is Dayton Bike Yard like an outdoor like park, or is it indoor? Whoops. Dog fan. Notice that White Industries phased out the square taper single speed cranks. Don't see them on the site anymore. They still have the square taper doubles, huh? Yeah, and bike picks. Huh. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, that's kind of wild. You said that was $350? Matt asked if they're calling the cabled SRAM access, and Pudgy said access means wireless. Yeah. Electronic, yeah. Oh wait, describe. They still have them. Yeah, Racer. That looks more slam than anything I could ride anymore. It's definitely one thing I said need to look at, like my road bikes and whether I want to still hang on to them or not. Oh, you had the picture up here too already. Edmund, let me try and get comfortable. Sorry. Bought it with Ultegra for $1,800 back in 2017. Last year, you moved that group to a road bike. Are they still using? Is anyone still using the Motobecon branding? Because I know what Motobecon became MBK for a while, but then someone just bought the name and started making bikes under it. They're not French at all anymore. I have one here that I want to make a video on. I showed it in the collection video, but I haven't. I've been waiting for the weather to get good. I want to ride it as is and then kind of set it up different. Someone just gave me over the winter, so but that's a can't remember. I looked it up. It's early '80s, so kind of a cool green color, but an actual old school French one. Bikes Direct is who makes them now, so or carries them. But. Hey, what was I? Steve Marino, what's up? 1,800 for an Ultegra equipped bike is non-existent now. And what Ultegra is Ultegra only wireless now?
I don't follow Shimano at all.
Oh, you don't? I thought you were a Shimano road bike for road bikes.
No, for road bikes, Suntour.
Oh well, Suntour doesn't make electronic shifting.
That's what that.
Because Shimano bought them, what, 35 years ago? More than that? That what is?
That the whoever posted that cyclone in the Discord.
Yeah, the Cyclone.
That's
Yeah.
what proper bike parts used to look like.
Yeah. I have some nice looking Sun Tour stuff. Nothing as nice as the Cyclone. My stuff's a little. Yeah. I mean, Shimano 9-speed stuff, those derailleurs, I think look awesome. So.
I don't know what it is. I just don't like Shimano.
Huh. Even the chrome stuff?
The old stuff, sure, but yeah, I don't know if it's the cranks. I just don't like the spiders on them. I don't know what it is.
I think through 10-speed Shimano. Well, I guess 10 speeds when they switch to the 4-arm stuff. But yeah, like the 9-speed stuff, I'll like throw it on a vintage bike because it still looks rad, I think. But yeah. Dylan said your first road bike was a Motovacon from Bikes Direct. That was maybe 20 years ago. So they've been selling them for a while. Yeah. Steve, I have a Collision Bend West Coast IPA. So this brewery, really cool spot. They're right on the Cuyahoga River. Let's get some focus back here, bro. Where is it focused on? There we go. Yeah, really cool patio with this concrete bar right on the Cuyahoga River. So you can watch, like, and it's in the shipping channel, so you can watch all the boats go by. Me and Aaron were actually up there last year when they were having these, what do they call that, dragon boat racing? With all the, like, 1 million paddles. Not quite 1 million. Like 40. I don't know. Yeah, there's like dragon boat racing going on, and we were sitting out there drinking a beer, watching all that, and then the ships come through. It's pretty cool. But oh, that's what the group set priced out. I'm making the frame, fork, and wheels almost free. Nice. Yeah, I thought so. Dura-Ace and Ultegra are only electric now. I thought so. And so Pista stuff, so that would be track stuff, right? I assume that name. 9-speed Dura-Ace was peak and we didn't need anything more. Yeah, I can't remember, were you talking about it in a video comment? But a number of people commented when I did the bike collection one because my 86 Schwinn Peloton has 9-speed, like 2007, probably Dura-Ace on it. I said that thing just shifts like absolute butter. But then again, the gear range is so small. It's not making big jumps either. But it is so smooth. It's so nice. Peak, we didn't need anything more is a great saying. Yeah, but I don't know. Like the wide range of modern stuff, I think is great. I'm still a 2x guy though, so I don't even mind 3x. So I don't mind getting a little bit of my range that way. But even compared to modern cassettes, I would say that a lot of vintage 2x and 3x is not that much from top to bottom, right? Different or more, I would say. But a cadence whore. Talk about a good saying. I'm a cadence whore. Yeah. It's funny. I notice when I shift, get it, to a bike with less gears, that like my cadence is off a little. But if I ride that bike for a while, I don't know. Pathless Pedal talks about this with fit and stuff like that a lot too, and bike feel and bike handling. And I think it's true that if you ride something a lot, unless it's way off for the most part, you just kind of get used to it. But yeah, I don't know. 9-speed, 10-speed, 11-speed, I could definitely get by with 9 speeds. So on a bike that I would ride a ton. What's up, Eduardo from Argentina? Nice to meet you too. Paid $340. Oh, that's what you said. You paid $340 for the wheel set on eBay. 50 millimeter depth tubeless. Oh, those are tubeless? Really? Huh. 1,700 grams. I don't pay enough attention to wheel weight to like, I always hear it in like reviews, but it doesn't stick with me. I assume that's decent, but yeah, modern 2x has many times more range than vintage 3x drivetrains. Yeah, I've never like done the math on it, but I would, I just know from riding them. You know, like my 3x8 Shimano on my stump jumper is definitely not the gear range that I have on my, you know, rally. But that rally I get incredible gear range on because I use the Road Link and run what 1142 with 3450. So yeah, full on road gear, full on climbing gear. So never broke a 9-speed chain. Never paid more than like $50 for a derailleur. Yeah. I have broken 9-speed chain. I broke a 9-speed chain on my Trek 500 when we were on the OTED, actually. Just pulled the link out and made sure I didn't cross chain and we were fine. That's a 3x9 actually on that bike. But yeah, I did break a chain on it. I mean, loaded bike. Excuse me. So, what are you hosers going to go 4x? Flying here. 1,700 grams for both wheels is lighter than anything you have. So it is pretty, I assume it's pretty light. Full 105 group, parts and everything for 340. Nice. I think Microshift is cheap because it's made cheap with cheap springs too. I feel like they've really they've improved the quality of a lot of their stuff though since early on. I feel like we've compared it to cameras before where like Sigma lenses were trash and now they're actually pretty decent, right? I don't think new Microshift stuff is that shitty, is it? I don't know. I'll go by. Like I said, I'm not running it, but just from what I watched and read online. But I don't know. I don't mind using old. I don't know. Some stuff is worth maintaining, so I guess it could go either way. You can climb a tree with the Rally's drive chain. Yeah. The only problem is I have so much torque on there that it keeps bending the integrated derailleur hanger. So, yeah. 1,700 is definitely not the lightest, but for the money, it's crazy good. Nice. Oh, Hun alloys could come in at 1,500 grams? Really? A really light wheel set is under 1,200 grams. Okay. Cycling Brian said, my Microshift bar ends are over 10 years old and they still work great. Three by nine, if you do 2x9, right, you can get like 550%. That's all the range you would need. Yeah. The one thing that's good about 3x9 is on like a vintage bike, it looks better than having a giant, you know, cassette in the back. In my IMHO, if we're gonna do acronyms tonight. Are you awake, little bud? Still chilling? I know you want to, after the stream, you're going to want to go bonks and play because all you've done is slept all day. So, using Microshift thummies and friction with 2x9 Shimano derailleurs. Love it. Nice. I did pull up a couple other things here I thought I was going to show. Maybe not. Maybe I already went through them. Do you have the, did you look at those white square taper? Is that what you have up there?
The Pauls?
Paul, yeah, Paul. What do they cost?
3 something. I haven't looked.
Dan said, I'll let you know about the Microshift on your old Giant ATX 780. One of the things that, for me, the reason I looked into microshift is because I wanted to use, vintage parts, but with brifters, and I think they were the only ones making really like reasonable 2x8 at the time. I think that's why I got it, but so kind of never finished that build. I moved on to other things, so it's sitting there almost completely done. But DSA said, love the micro shift with the 2x10. The front is friction. Yeah, that's like old school. Like when they Shimano first put out brifters, a lot of the riders were still using a down tube shifter in friction for the front derailleur. One, because the original ones were kind of heavy, and then two, just that I guess the index front shifting wasn't that great when it first came out. You'll see like Lance Armstrong using it if you look back to when like the indexed brifters first came out, Shimano STIs. He'll have the rear one with the STI and the front still a down tube. But I've done that too, even on my winter bike. I went to having just a Thummy for the front 3, it's a triple, but still have the index for the rear. So for me, it's not, and for a weight reason, obviously, I'm running that bike with studded tires. So I have a set of microshift thummies in reverse setup and friction. What does reverse setup mean? What would that mean? Just running it like British style or motorcycle style? Why is there a blue dot up here? What does that mean? Oh, it just shows me information. I think it's cool that there's like more budget group sets out there now, though, that people are starting to review pretty good. Like, I did see Spektrum out on the street the other day, and I'm hoping that, right when I said that, our bid rate dropped the lowest it's been all night. Like instantly, I said Spektrum, and it's like they cut it. Unbelievable. I was about to say Spektrum was out on the street, and maybe they fixed the lines in the alley, and now it just completely crashed. Oh, we're back. If it froze up, we should be back. So, what happened to the chat? The chat completely stopped and then like sprung forward like crazy. Whatever. On flat bars, you love thummies and grip shift. Not that old shitty 90s stillborn grip shift, the modern XC inspired grip shift. Yeah. We were talking about that once, and I didn't realize there was better stuff made later on a stream. I don't know. It's been a long time, but I remember that 90s stuff that I thought was cool at first, but then when you rode, you were accidentally shifting it all the time. Also, in the video I just mentioned by Clunke at the beginning, he moved his to the inside of the brake lever because he's like, I don't shift that much on this bike, so he has a full grip and then just reaches over when he wants to shift it, which was kind of cool. Don't think I'd seen that before. Oh, like Rivendell sets them up on the underside of the bars, easy to use. Gotcha. Some mountain bike riders would use a friction grip shift on the front and indexed rear back in the 90s. Huh. So it's a mountain bike thing too. Interesting. So that kind of history, I never know. That's what Pudgy and some of you other guys are good for. My road bike has the shifters reversed at that Schwinn Peloton I was talking about with the Dura-Ace. It came from the guy who sold it to me was in Texas. That shouldn't have anything to do with it, but Yeah, remember that tour of California where what's his name? Who was it? He's retired now. He used to ride for EF for the American. He does some commentary now. It doesn't matter. But he got a he traded bikes with a teammate, and the teammate was British, and he went to go around a corner, pulled the brake real hard, and it was reversed.
Ooh.
Yeah, he didn't get seriously hurt, but he went it was not smooth at all. Don't say the S word. What was the S word, Dave?
Oh, jeez. Spectrum.
Spectrum? Oh, yeah, I said Spectrum. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. Since the stream moved to 8, does that mean we could swear at 9? Huh. I like your new icon, Jay Dandy, one with the jean jacket. Well, the original idea behind 10 was just because I told the guy that after 10 o'clock all bets were off, so I guess that doesn't really change anything. But I don't remember who the guy was, and I'm not sure if he's watched the stream for like 4 years. So. We will, like I said, I will consider moving it to 9 as we get more into the summer, but I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. Speaking of that, well, I'll say this now before the end. Probably, and also I need to tell Dave this, probably not going to be streaming next Tuesday. I've got, Kyle invited me to, I think it's in the owner's box of the Rubber Ducks for opening day or something. So next Tuesday it's Tuesday at 8, so there's no way we'll be streaming. Or 7 or something.
The owner's box?
Yeah, he said free food and drinks. Well, Kyle's the head of the Knight Foundation, so it's not surprising he got invited, but he didn't.
Still, that's the owner's box.
Yeah.
On the opening day?
Yeah, might be able to make some connections. You know? Ken Babby is the name of the owner. But yeah. So yeah, next week I'll look into doing a stream on a different day, but I'll wait till week of to let you know. But yeah, no stream next Tuesday. Only if it's EF. If you need to set them up, you see the bars. You're running the wrong bars. Grant Peeperson. That's not real swearing. Oh, whoa, bud. Come on. You can't get comfortable in this position? All right, hang on. This guy. You don't like being up in the light, do you? Yeah. Fuck your tables. While the shifters are backwards, so to speak, you still shift with the rear on the, yeah, so you're still doing them on the right sides. But guy that sold it to me was from Texas. I thought we left racism on last week's stream. Rocky Eastwood. Don't know what the heck you guys are talking about. C-bike, ride bike, whatever comes with, good enough for you. Yeah. Well, funny thing is, Jay Dandy, you said go Ducks. I almost called them the Arrows, and they haven't been the Arrows for what, almost a decade now. But
it's been a while.
Yeah. Still almost said the Akron Arrows, but yeah, when Ken Babby bought our minor league baseball team, he rebranded them the Rubber Ducks. The team was originally, here's a little piece of trivia, they had like fan voting. No, they named it the Blast. And they said it was to honor the space program. But there was an Akron astronaut on the Challenger that blew up.
Ooh.
And so everyone was like...
Oh, yeah, the teacher?
Yeah, Resnick. Judy Resnick?
Yeah.
Yeah, Judy Resnick from Firestone High School in Akron. So when they originally named the team the Blast and they said it honored the space program... People weren't really happy with that decision. So then they had a vote that, and the name got changed to the Arrows, which AEROS, which was a better choice because there's a lot of flight history stuff here, obviously. But yeah, then they rebranded Rubber Ducks, and it's kind of cool because it's like a duck and then it's like a tire tread behind it, which for Akron obviously makes sense since the rubber capital of the world at one point. Second baseman is the Guards' #1 draft pick and prospect. Oh, nice. I haven't paid any attention to. Well, I don't pay attention to baseball until baseball's going. Like I don't like.
I don't follow the guys coming up playing AA, AAA.
Yeah.
That's a lot to ingest.
Ingest. I guess that works. I don't think that's what most people would say. Well, Edmund, he's eating well. Yeah, we had I don't think you were on that stream, Racer. He was going to the vet, and we were all guessing what his weight was going to be. He turned out to be 13.5 pounds. I had guessed 15, but yeah, he's a big boy. But I asked the vet, and she was like, "Nope, I could feel his ribs and stuff. He's just a big dude." So, Edmund, you want some morphine? Hey, what's up, Chris FYB? I did see some posts, Chris, about the bike event on Sunday. I think the reason that I won't go out there is because I have to watch the Tour of Flanders. I'm like, I know it seems like dumb to stay inside to watch sports, but I freaking love that race. Like, it's like a highlight of my year. Like, it's what's on my TV watching. That's my favorite. So that's Sunday morning, and it should end around 11. So I'll still go out and ride on Sunday if it's a decent day. But I'm like, so Chris was talking. Is it Pittsburgh-Roubaix? I can't remember the name of it, but they're going to climb a bunch of crazy and.
I was looking at that last week or something.
Yeah, it's not the Dirty Dozen, but it's like a thing where they do a bunch of really steep, and I think what is some of the like, washed out roads and stuff like that. So I was kind of interested in going out to ride that, but I'm like, I know I'm going to want to get up early on Sunday morning and watch Flanders. So the Ron van Vlaanderen. So have you seen that meme that has like Winnie the Pooh and it's like Tour of Flanders and it's like the broke down one and it's like him in like the nice suit in the chair saying Ron van Vlaanderen.
Oh, I can picture
it.
it.
That's all you need. You don't need to see it. You just need it.
It's impossible you can't not watch it live too.
I know. I hate when
just never look at your phone or the internet in general.
Yeah. For some reason, it wasn't this year, but Road Apple Roubaix that did with Chris and a bunch of people is always has been on the same day as Strada Bianchi, so I usually come home and watch it. But this year it wasn't, thank God. So tomorrow there's also Dwars de Vlaanderen, so I'll watch that while I'm working in the morning too. There's usually a few good riders there, but everyone doesn't show up for that one. But yeah, Sunday, Pogacar versus Vanderpool. It's going to be a good one. And then, I don't know, it just doesn't seem like Van Aert's on form to.
He's been doing pretty bad.
And Jumbo hasn't done anything. All of a sudden, Killer Bees ain't doing shit. Anyways. Dan Bolton, you have the Port Angeles Lefties for Wooden Bat Summer League. Nice. Rubber capital, low birth rate. That's not the reason. I think a couple of you guys are going to do the 20 mile and chill. The other Chris P is sweeping that group. Oh, nice. Pittsburgh-Roubaix, 20 and 40 mile options. Nice. What was the last road race everyone's been talking about? The biggest one was Milan-San Remo, but last week was Ghent-Wevelgem, so it would be one of those two. Those were the two big ones so far, but Milan-San Remo is a much bigger race. It's a monument. There's only 5 of those. So Daytona 420. Hey, what's up, Terry B? I got a collision bend. When you guys, Terry, actually said what beer you drinking, I was wondering when you were finishing the stream yesterday, I was trying to watch to see if I could see the Peekskill Brewery in the background, because we rode some of those trails you rode, those off-road ones. We messed up and we ended up on hiking trails. I didn't know that till I put out the videos, and a bunch of people from New York got all pissed off at us. It was rainy, no one else was out, but yeah. So we rode some of the trails you rode after the Croton Dam, and then since it was raining, we stopped in that Peekskill Brewery, then jumped on the train, and we were camping at Croton Point Park that night. This was not last year, but 4 or 5 years ago after Nutmeg. But yeah, we just, like, not being from New York and not being used to transit, we were sitting in the Peekskill Brewery, eating dinner, drinking a beer, and like kind of dreading the ride back to Croton Point. And then we were like, oh, that train we keep see coming by every 20 minutes, we could just go jump on. Like, yeah, you don't get that in Ohio. So yeah, Pudgy's not drinking beers, he's on morphine. Moto, it says it seems that you get older, you want front suspension for general riding and all terrain. We've talked about this. I'm like, with my Gunner, I'm happy with like the 55 and supple tires, or reasonably supple tires. I just prefer that over front suspension, but I don't know. I know front suspension is way better than the stuff I've had, but I like the front suspension on a gravel bike is not something I would ever do personally. So I did, Eddie Welker. That finish at Catalunya, that sprint finish was amazing. I didn't watch that one live, but I watched the highlights. Yeah. Some of them are hiking trails, so yeah. Oh, Peekskill Brewery moved. Oh, really? Interesting. I guess it was kind of a small spot, but oh, did COVID do them in? No, because we went after COVID. We went the first year, like to go to Nutmeg, you had to have a Vax card, so that would have been Pudgy. What year was that? That's the year we went together, 2021. Oh, that's a bummer. We really like the beer and the food there, so. Yeah, I just love watching the OCA streams. I was talking about that earlier with Dimitri, because now that I've done it twice, I just love seeing all the spots now that I know them. But it was your video that when we went in, whatever it was, 2021 was my motivation. I'm like, I've got to do this trail. So. Racer, you said you were looking for some Great Lakes, Edmund Fitzgerald. Store didn't have it, so you went with Deschutes Obsidian Stout, a tad hoppy for you. Huh. I've definitely had that Deschutes, but not for a long, long time. Yeah, Edmund Fitzgerald is just like a totally solid stout. Yeah. Look like you're working, Dimitri. Your boss is here. When I worked at McDonald's in high school, we used to have these, like, me and this one guy, what we'd call action poses. We'd be standing there doing nothing, but like we'd have like a broom in our hand in a way that we could instantly look like we were sweeping. The McDonald's I worked at was like brand new and it was dead. It was out in Richfield, like kind of a truck stop area that just, when I worked there, it was just not busy at all. So
Andy Brown just walking back and forth with a melon in his hand.
Yeah, just at the farm. Yeah, don't know what to do. See. Me and Dave, when we worked at the farm, there was this time we were doing, I can't even remember what we were doing. We were like stacking pallets or something because it was just kind of slow and there was nothing else to do, like in the fall after most of the field work was done. And someone came over and Dave was just like, nope. He's like, we're already two-manning a one-man job. Is that how it's supposed to be pronounced? Is that why you said it like that, damn? D-shoots, not day shoots? Could be, yeah. Back to work, slacker. I just realized with this ability to pull up, I was telling Dave this, these chats like this, I can't delete chats. So when I started this, I put in the code to make this work, and then I tried to drop a YouTube video link in, but I dropped the code into the chat, and then I couldn't delete it. Not that it matters. Not that anyone could do anything with it. I just didn't want it there. But yeah, I realized the 3-dot menu does not work for me. So yeah, the year that we both went was 2021 out to Nutmeg, and then yeah, is that the year? Did we ride the OCA that year? I can't remember now. The first time we went out to Nutmeg, what did we do on our way out, on our way back? I think it was. I think we drove to Croton Point Park, camped there for the night, and then in the morning got up and rode into New York. I think we probably stayed not far from where Terry is. I think we stayed in Bed-Stuy. Yeah. Anyways. D-shoots. I think I've always called it day shoots, like I don't know, and I'm like way more French inflection. What do you think? Should we wrap this up? It's already 9:19. I'm tired. My leg hurts. Edmund's actually back in his. He doesn't want us to wrap it up. Look at this. Look at this guy. Are his eyes open?
No, not at all.
And the way my legs cross, his whole like stomach. Is like,
Just
how could that be comfortable? Yeah, it's just like hammocked over there.
I love how he like squishes. He just like flattens out.
Yeah. I always say this is a jostle-free cat. I can move him however I want. He doesn't care. Like most cats, people are like, I've tried to like scratch my arm and my cat left. Like, God damn it! But not this guy. He doesn't care. But better than a night shoot, a day shoot. Yeah, I think we'll wrap it up. Like I said, no stream next Tuesday because I'll be living it up in the owner's box of a minor league baseball team. Free food and drinks, man. That's all I need. So I'm sure it'll be fun. I don't get to hang out with my buddy Kyle that much. He's got a couple little ones now and a much more serious job than I have, obviously. So
Got a real job.
a real job. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that's that. Anything else? Any other announcements? No, that's it. All right, let's go. Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining, as always. Peace.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
this time.
Fitzwater photo.
Stanley Super Chatted $4.99. Pudgy pedal pusher, come for the pneumonia, stay for the sponge baths. Get well brother, banana emoji, tax return, flying saucer emoji, pineapple emoji, soft serve ice cream emoji, lotion emoji, soap emoji, sponge emoji, bubbles emoji, smiley face emoji.
Is to get with